3 years ago, I ranted on the fact that it really got my goat, to use Kate's expression, about people who didn't like ingredients. So they would come to sort of my house for dinner, and they would say, you know, I would make a pasta sauce, and they would say, oh, has it got any peppers in it? You know, I don't like aubergines or whatever it was, their thing. And it was like, you know, what do you mean by that? Just eat the pasta sauce. I'm not giving you like a raw aubergine to eat or something like that. It's a pasta sauce, you know, it's a lasagna or whatever it is. The fact that you might be able to dig out something that is a pepper that allegedly you don't like, what's that about? I mean, you know, there are 60 different varieties of pepper. You can cook them in 25 different ways, and you know, this is not one thing. It makes no sense to say you don't like lamb, or you don't like peppers, or you don't like any of these things. And it also kind of got my goat that people actually seem to sort of get a sort of real sense of identity out of this thing that's basically quite childish, about sort of like, I don't eat this thing, and that somehow makes me, I don't know, interesting, or anyway. So that was what I ranted about 3 years ago, and I'd like to sort of start with that today, and I'd like to sort of add in a sort of something that I've noticed from some of our kids' friends who might come by. And, you know, this is kids, that's fine, you know. I mean, it was the adults I was ranting about. And they would say things like, I don't like shepherd's pie, for instance. And I think, you don't like shepherd's pie? That's interesting, what's that about? And I might have said, I like my mum's shepherd's pie, but I don't like my granny's shepherd's pie, because they would actually be completely different things. And then I was thinking, all right, I see what's going on here. They conceive of shepherd's pie as one thing, because the supermarkets are selling shepherd's pie as a product, and that's what they're getting, and they think of it as a thing, just like apparently these other people who didn't like ingredients thought of peppers as one thing that you couldn't process in 150 different ways. So I was thinking, yeah, that's quite interesting. Like, yeah, that's something that's quite odd. You know, I would have never have thought of shepherd's pie as a product. I was thinking, I don't like the carrots that my auntie puts in it, so when I make it, I'm not going to put carrots in. Fine, still shepherd's pie. Right, okay. And then another thing that, you know, worries me is all these recipes that are given out by chefs over the last, you know, this food explosion in the last 10 years, and it's all about recipes. And, you know, I do have a bit of a longing for those Delia days when it really wasn't about recipes, it was about methods. Because, you know, recipes, look how disempowering they are. I mean, it feels a bit like kind of a teen, you know, your relationship to the ingredients is a bit like a teenager going on your first date, and you've got to rehearse your lines to the girlfriend, and what do you say, you know, if this happens, you know, what's it going to be, you know, and that's your relationship. It's stuck. It's a recipe, rather than the fact that you have, you know, a bit more of an empathic relationship with, you know, this person who you want to be with, and you're not rehearsing the lines. You're actually a little bit in the moment. You sort of think, oh well, you know, this you know, ingredient is, you know, a little bit like this, therefore I'm going to cook it in that way rather than the other way. So, you know, why isn't there more about methods of cooking rather than cooking recipes? Because cooking recipes, as I say, I find it very disempowering. Because you know, you have to apparently buy this sort of particular variety of rice. You have to buy this particular, you know, type of paprika or something because it's in the recipe. And you're not actually empowered to think, actually, yeah, I haven't got that type of rice, but I've got this other type of rice, so all I have to do is, because I know about the ingredients, is put a bit less stock in, or whatever it is, or cook it in a slightly different way. And in the bigger picture, I think about these things, and I think, who's gaining from this? And I think, well, you know, it's big food, it's the supermarkets. You know, they don't really want you to know about ingredients. They don't want you to have this sort of positive view of ingredients as something that are very, very broad and very, very wide. They want to give you this idea of choice. They love telling you how much choice they're giving you. I mean, hell, they're giving you a premium shepherd's pie and an economy shepherd's pie. That's 2 shepherd's pies, man. How many more do you want? You some kind of idiot? Well, you know, as I say, a shepherd's pie is a totally infinite thing, and that's just a shepherd's pie, let alone, you know, all the peppers, all the different varieties, let alone fruit, you know. They sell you a premium peach that costs a fortune, and they sell you an unripe peach, which is inedible, which costs less, you know, but it's inedible. But, I mean, you know, they don't actually say all ingredients are virtually infinite. When you pick it, what variety it is, what soil it's grown in, where it comes from, you know, how the weather was, all these things make a difference. They certainly make a difference in meat, which is sort of, I suppose, my sort of area. But, you know, what they want to do is sell you something based on the name and how it's packaged. They don't actually want you to go much beyond that. And that really pisses me off. Thank you.